Hi, Mindy Taliente here, and welcome back to those of you who watched the last video, and welcome to those of you who didn't. If you didn't, make sure you go back and access the tool I shared to help you calm down in situations where stress, anxiety are occurring and you feel like things are spinning out of control. Firstly, thank you for your comments, your questions, and your feedback on the box breathing tool, as well as all other matters related to your overall well-being. I always love to hear from you, engage with you, to learn about what works for you, what you enjoy, what you don't enjoy, and more importantly, how I can help you more. So keep those comments coming. In the last video, we spoke about how all of us can live a life free from stress, worry, fear, doubt, anxiety, depression, self-loathing, lack of self-worth, all of which affects not just you, but other people, when you have the right tools and techniques and guidance and support to do so. We also discussed that true transformation happens from not just coming at things from one angle, like a mental health angle, but also from the physical health, social health, and emotional health, because all four aspects are interconnected and inextricably linked. The vagus nerve was activated through the box breathing that we shared to show you how to feel in control in the moment when you are overwhelmed by thoughts and emotions. Now, in this video, I want to go deeper and look at how we can avoid getting into those moments and being proactive rather than reactive. We're going to do this by looking at how we feel in control of ourselves in those moments. We will look at the process of cognitive behavioural therapy, and we'll practice a mindfulness technique so you can become more self-aware and feel more in control of your life. As I mentioned, these techniques have been accumulated over 25 years of professional experience, not just in cognitive behavioural therapy and mindfulness, but in life coaching, in mental health first aid, in positive psychology, cultivating emotional and mental balance. I won't go on and bore you. You can check out my bio, but I will say this. The techniques that I have learned are very simple yet super effective and really are not time consuming. By dedicating just a few minutes per day with commitment and consistency, you can make transformation happen. It is entirely possible. I always say that commitment plus consistency equal transformation. Okay, so we're going to kick this off with a quick quiz. It's really simple. 5 questions, and all you have to do is answer true or false. Don't overthink it. Don't take too long. Just go with the first answer that pops into your mind immediately. Don't be like, oh, I don't know. It depends on the situation. It could be sometimes yes, sometimes no. If it's too fast, you can always pause it, but be as quick as possible. Okay, we're ready? Let's go. Question number 1. I usually get what I want in life. True or false? Number 2. I don't believe that success is related solely to luck or fate. I don't believe that success is related solely to luck or fate. Number 3, I never know where I stand with other people. Number 4, if I do not succeed on a task, I tend to give up. True or false? Number 5, I am quite good at convincing others to do things my way. Before we go any further, let me explain why we're doing this exercise. Well, if we're going to be in control of our life, firstly, we have to determine to which degree we are already in control of it, or if we actually are controlling the outcomes of our actions and behaviours. And one way to do that is by using the locus of control theory. The locus of control was coined in the 1950s by American psychologist Julian Rotter, and his research and studies showed that there are basically varying degrees of which we control our actions and behaviors and how much we are in control of our life. And there are two types, very simplistically put. There are people who have an, you wouldn't believe I did art as a GC, I think I did very well at it. So there are those with the internal locus of control. And these people believe that everything that they create in their life, all the things, their outcomes, come from within them. So they are in control of what they put out into the world, and whatever happens to them comes from an internal point that they do not have any other responsibility blamed to other people outside of themselves. And then there are those who have an external locus of control. Yeah. And the people who have an external locus of control are the opposite, because they feel like everything that is happening to them comes from external factors like other people, life circumstances, and they are not in control of that. They feel like they're not in control, and they feel pretty helpless and powerless when it comes to events that happen in their life. So, shall we have a look at the results and the answers for you and the scoring system? I usually get what I want in life. That's true, 5 points. Number 2 is 5 points for false. Number 3 is 5 points for false. Number 4 is 5 points for false. And number 5 is 5 points for true. So if you look at your total scores, 5 is a very strong external locus of control, 10 external locus of control, 15 you're both external and internal locus of control, and 20 is internal locus of control, and 25 is strong internal locus of control. So how did you score? Remember, if you have an external locus of control, it's not to be judged negatively. Maybe it's that way because of external circumstances or life's hardships that you've experienced, like neglect, loss, illnesses could have contributed to it, or other negative circumstances. The most important thing to know is it's not our past and current experiences that determine our realities. We can control our realities in spite of our past. Now let's move on to understanding how we can change our behaviors and actions and create the outcomes we want in life by using Cognitive Behavioural Therapy, or CBT as it's often shortened to. CBT is an evidence-based, effective psychological treatment that identifies and changes unwanted behaviors, thought patterns, emotions, and things that stop you moving forward in life. Why I love this tool so much is because it's all-encompassing, and it's based on the principle that our thoughts, our actions, and behaviors are all linked. Just like I said before, our emotional, mental, social, and physical body are all inextricably linked. Cognitive behavioral therapy focuses on setting goals and eliminating the unhealthy and unwanted thoughts, emotions, and behaviors that stop you reaching those goals. So this is how it basically works. Okay, a situation occurs, and that could be something like you're driving and somebody cuts in your way and causes a near accident. What happens is that situation sends signals to your sensory organs like your ears and your eyes, which then sends the signal to your brain to trigger a thought. So those sensory organs send a signal for the information according to that situation to be processed and interpreted. And when it triggers a thought, that thought in this situation might be something like, oh, you stupid idiot, you nearly killed me, you can't drive, how stupid of you, or so on. And the thought activates a part of your brain called the amygdala, and the amygdala is in charge of your emotions. That then triggers instantaneously an emotion. And here, that emotion could be something like initially fear, then it could be anger or frustration. And what happens is, as a result, you have a behavior. So you behave in a certain way. Now, this whole process is super fast. It's really hard to break this or interrupt it as it is happening. You have to be really skilled to do that, or highly experienced. I've managed to do it a couple of times, but really it's been too fast for me. So what you have to do is you have to be aware of the process and what's happening before it occurs. You have to stop it and catch it before you get to this point. And that takes a lot of training. It's very easy to do. You just have to practice it with a tool called mindfulness. Before we delve into mindfulness, let me just do a little bit of myth busting around it. I've tried so hard to find another word to explain what mindfulness is without conjuring up images of somebody sitting cross-legged on the top of a mountain meditating. It's not that. Well, actually, it can be. You can do a mindful meditation, and we'll look at that soon. But mindfulness is so much more than that. Mindfulness can be practiced as part of your day with the things that you are already doing. For instance, brushing your teeth, walking down the road, sitting at the computer, or eating your lunch. You don't need extra time to do it. The closest word I came up with was self-awareness training, because basically what it involves is you being aware in the moment when a situation happens, like the one I mentioned earlier, being aware without getting really overly involved in it, or without judging it, or without being consumed by it. So you basically look at the situation like a witness would observe something going on outside of themselves. And what that does is it creates the distance, and you're able to choose and just notice what's going on. And then you can choose how you want to respond to that situation. If you practice this every day, it can actually happen. You can observe things and make a choice about how you want to make the outcome happen rather than the outcome happening to you. Internal versus external locus of control. So enough talking. Let's just get on with the practice. Okay, we'll try it out. So I want you to sit up nice and tall or lie down, arms and legs uncrossed. And you're just going to take 3 deep breaths and close your eyes, if that feels comfortable for you. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. And last one, inhale and exhale. Now I just want you to take your attention with your mind to your feet. Just notice what is going on with your feet. If anything, can you feel your feet on the floor? Can you feel the back of the heels on the floor if you're lying down? And just take a mental note of what sensations you can feel there. And then take your attention up to your lower legs, from your knees to the ankles. Just notice what you can feel. Can you feel a breeze on your skin, or the clothes on your skin, back of the calves on the floor? Or maybe you can't notice anything at all, and that's totally fine. Just make a note of a blank, and then take your attention up to your thighs and your hips, and see what you can observe in this region of the body. Can you feel and sense the sit bones on the chair, or can you feel your legs turning outward slightly on the floor? Do you feel the pelvis inside your body? Can you feel if one hip is higher than the other? Just notice. And if your mind is wandering off, don't worry, just bring it back. Take your attention then up to your lower abdomen and your middle back, lower back, all the way up to the stomach, and see if you can notice anything at all that's going on there. Maybe you can feel tension in your lower back or the stomach rumbling, or maybe you can feel any other sensation. And if you can't, register the blank, don't judge it, and then move your attention up to your chest, your shoulders, your arms, and your hands. And notice anything that might be occurring or jumping out at you there. You might feel tension in your shoulders. You might feel the breath and the chest rising with your inhale and exhale. Your fingers, are they curled? Feel the elbows on the floor, or just take a note. And again, if your mind's wandering away, don't worry, bring it back. And then take your attention to your neck and your head area. What can you feel, if anything, here? Can you feel tension in the forehead? Do you feel your teeth clenched? Can you feel the back of your head on the floor? Do you feel tightness in your cheeks or your neck? Just notice, and then let that thought go. And then just take 3 deep breaths. Inhale and exhale, and inhale and exhale. And last time, inhale and exhale. And then slowly, when you're ready, open your eyes. How do you feel? Relaxed? Did you fall asleep? Did you judge yourself when your mind wandered away, saying something like, oh, I can't empty my mind. Oh, my mind, I can't control it. It's got too many thoughts in. Because if you did, then like so many other people who make the same objection and say to me, I can't meditate. I can't empty my mind. And I say to them, well, hang on, it's not about being able to empty your mind. Your brain and mind were designed to have thoughts. That's their primary function. It's a biological system that we need in the body. So why and would you want to stop it? And how could you do that? It's not about emptying the mind. It's about being in control of your thoughts and being able to manage them so they don't control you. And with practice, the more you do this, the easier it becomes. As part of my mindfulness training a while ago, I had to do this for 60 days every day. I did a slightly longer version, 20 minutes, but you can work up to that. And I'm not even sure exactly when or how the change happened. It was like a switch just flipped, and I was able to manage myself. And for me, it always has been and continues to be anger as the emotion that I need to manage. So what happened one day was I was on the phone to the bank or utilities. I can't quite remember, but one of those people that are A, hard to get hold of, and B, not very helpful. And I could feel the anger bubbling up. And instead of losing it and losing control, I was like, oh, hang on a minute. I'm starting to get tight in my stomach. Oh, look, my voice is screeching. My voice is getting louder. That must be anger. Right. Very quickly, I asked myself, hang on a second. By being angry, am I going to get what I want out of this situation? Thought about it and thought, actually, yes, I am going to. So I consciously chose to be angry, not the uncontrollable, harmful anger, but the firm, I'm in control of this anger, and I managed to create the outcome that I needed to create. So you see, with practice, this can happen. And if I can do it, you can do it. I went from having a traumatic childhood and learning loads of avoidance behaviors in my 20s, and then just being very depressed and suicidal with some life choices that I made. But I've managed to do that and come here with these small techniques that I've implemented quite committedly and consistently into my life. So in the next video, I'm going to show you how you can turn obstacles into opportunities and create with small changes the life you've wanted to always live, and how you can practically implement these tools into your life. I'll be answering some of your questions, so don't forget to tune in. And don't forget, leave me your comments. How did you find that exercise? How did the mindfulness go for you? Have you tried it before? Have you done cognitive behavioural therapy? Has it worked? Let me know, and I look forward to hearing from you and seeing you in the next video.